could happen.
Welcome back to Run the Block. This is session 27, episode 27, titled NCX. Um, Last session came to determination after a deep amount of planning that they will Arasaka special acquire a flight, base flight from NCX to Taiko City, southern the moon. Um, So an interesting place to take your Edgerunner crew for honeymoon or roaming. But here we are. And the group had been told that the ship will be leaving on the morning of Sunday, the 20th of March. Still true. And I did ask last time if you have anything before we start making our way to NCX. I feel like we covered a lot of that already, but I do always like to make sure that anything else, last minute calls, last minute purchases that you would like to make, throw out there, um, are able to do so.
I wouldn't even know what to buy at this point to begin.
Okay. Well,
How
that's
do you shop for the moon?
more than fair. Understandable. I would say complicated, right? I can't think of anything I'd want. Uh,
Could I get some electromagnets to put on my shoes so that they can go on and off
Wait.
so I can connect myself to things in case there's low gravity?
so
Oh
those
shit!
are
I was
typically
gonna
provided
buy.
in suits. If you are in a circumstance where you're not in a suit, um, then not really.
You'll be dead. Okay, cool.
Yeah. If
We'll
there,
just go along with what we got. Let's go!
usually, if there's no gravity, there's probably no air. So,
I could
Fuck!
walk on
I'm trying
walls.
to remember. I was going to buy a perk,
you're gonna buy a
and
purse
then I forgot. I was going to buy a perk. Um,
or
the one that's, if I have enough, I want to do the one that is my class perk.
got it.
But I don't know how to navigate this character sheet anymore.
That's okay.
I don't
What
know
perk
which
did
one
you
goes.
want?
I don't know if I have enough for it. I have 380 IP, and I wanted to upgrade my whatever my class perk was.
Your role rank?
Yeah, roll rank, whatever you want.
Got you. So that would be on page
Where is
411
it?
of the core rulebook.
Yes.
I
Or,
think she. Do you
oh,
I
want an
go.
additional rank in your role, or do you want a perk that John
I
created
think it's
for your
the
role?
rank in the
Okay.
role.
got it. So currently you are a role rank 6. To go from 6 to 7, it would cost you 420.
Okay, then I don't have enough yet. Okay, so
Right.
I'll wait on that.
Uh,
Where do I even see this on my character sheet,
it
though?
won't be on your character sheet for the cost. It'll be on the book that you
No, no, no.
have.
I'm talking about like my role
Oh,
level.
at the
Where is it on the
bottom
sheet?
there are 3 tabs: Roll, Fight, Life Path. If you click on the Roll
Okay.
path or tab, it'll show your.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yep.
I see. Very
Um.
nice.
Yep. So, arriving at NCX, I would like to know who is arriving, um, and how you're arriving. Arriving by cab, your own car. There are parking garages, sub parking garages, that you can bit pricey. Um, but I don't believe Arasaka has coverings. So, how would you like to arrive?
Take an
Public
Uber.
transportation.
Public transport. Okay, there is a bus that runs to NCX. And you said
I take cab.
taking over.
Uber,
Oh,
public transportation, whatever. Just, I will not drive there. I will leave my stuff at home.
got it. There isn't really much in the way of ride sharing in Utopian Future, in part to relation of that process. Um, but yeah, there are cab services. Um,
Same, yeah.
um, Mox are riding out in a vehicle or getting dropped off by somebody else. Zach.
I
Oh, there you
So Switch shows up with the mocks are gonna come separately
go. Okay.
because we all would have wanted to spend like one more night with
Arasaka.
whoever,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so when Switch shows up, they actually get out of the back of what looks like a very nice car driven by someone else. Like there's two people in the back, not just Switch, but someone else. And as the door opens, they turn around, give that person a kiss, and then step out, close the door, and the car drives off.
Okay.
And waits for the rest of the crew to show up
Okay. And
before they go anywhere.
they will do so in style. I believe situation will be that uh, the pink Barbie car will arrive with it driven by Elsie, but uh, Amelia will be in the car, and basically they will Elsie will pass over the key, drive it back. Um, she will kind of come up to you before they leave. Amelia say, "I haven't asked too many questions about this gig, but it's definitely putting us in a bit of notoriety. We're trying to keep it low, so just keep that in mind. Once you get back, you're gonna have to tell some stories because all the girls are very curious as to what the fuck is going on here. Okay? But I'll keep it under wraps and hush hush until you're settled. Good luck up there."
Thank, thank you.
She gets in and drives it like she fucking like it's a fucking rental, and you can see Elsie like, "Hey, what the fuck?" Like the car just through the circle of the departures. So Arasaka actually has its own departure area. Which look at the map, you can there is kind of it's a hexag. Sorry, what's the six sided sextangle?
You had it.
Hex.
Hexagonal.
Mhm.
Sextagonal.
Hex sextagonal.
Hexagon.
Um, anyways, so Arasaka is just kind of on this southern side. Departure. Um, orbital air is the main functionary NCX. And when you actually drive in, every single one of you will receive a text the second that you are on the bridge that leads NCX that tells you that weapon use is strictly prohibited beyond this point, and all combat cyberware is being monitored. If it is activated for any reason, there is a sizable fine in the neighborhood of 10,000 eddies per minute of activation. So it seems that those of you who have been in Night City for a long time, but have actually gone out and about using NCX or are familiar with kind of like a jet setter kind of understanding, probably just be Akitsu, somebody else who knows. But they used to shut it all off. Like the second that you started to cross the bridge, they would just shut your combat cyberware off. Period. Um, it appears that that has changed, and people in law enforcement would know that the reason why that's the case is because there was a very high body count back in summer of 2077, an NUSA attack on uh, facility. It's known by very few people that NUSA had a part in that attack, and it's mostly just seen as like a corporate conflict between Orbital Air and their rivals. But the reason why they've changed that is so that people can utilize the combat cyberware, and if they do so, in, like the defense of NCX and the property, those fees can be waived.
Does that count towards cyberdex as well?
Correct. Any net running on site will be malicious and will immediately be flagged for fining. Now, if you're doing it again in protection of NCX, they'll probably waive the fees and the fines. But if you're just doing it because you're like maniacal evil, they'll probably find the shit.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Quince, it's you and a bunch of mocks. Leo, you said you were taking public transportation, so your bus arrives.
No, I'm not with Mox.
No, you would have arrived and kind of been like waiting for your people, right? Because you don't know where to go.
Okay,
You
I
can't.
thought you meant like
Yeah,
I
no,
arrived
no,
with them. I'm like, no,
no,
I
no, no, no,
took
no,
public
no.
transportation, man.
I'm sorry. I thought you said you were taking a cab.
Well, yes, a way that I do not own it. So yes,
Correct.
I will wait outside.
Okay. Leo's taking a bus, and then Akitsu will probably be arriving in kind of like glory, and then Kincaid, how are you arriving?
I'm on a cab.
Okay. Great. So you would arrive on the scene and gather up. Akitsu would be kind of led in through private access. There are actual AV docks on the back side of the departures area, and you would land inside. Um, Security would flag that there's a group standing outside, um, but loitering about, and like security captures that this appears to be.
Bring them in.
As you're standing out there, a very large individual, Arasaka colors, um, like all of the security personnel on this place that you are mostly kind of up and in these kind of glass partitions that look like battlements of like a castle. But this guy is the only one that you've seen on ground level. Walks directly over to you. You individuals need to come with me, and gestures towards the front entrance of the Arasaka departures area. Um,
Ooh, I like a forceful man.
yeah, nods, and will lead you in. The place is packed and busy, but everybody in this area is very like well dressed, very much employees of the company, kind of moving in and out. On occasion, you can see what looks like a person who isn't like Arasaka connected or doesn't appear to be Arasaka connected, and some of you might recognize these individuals as like low level celebrity that you have connections with Arasaka, or perhaps are getting kind of a through a flight in maybe from the Plex, maybe from Las Vegas or Texas somewhere, coming in here, heading into the city proper. Um, you make your way through security with this guy leading. Everything is scanned on you. Um, Everything's kind of taken track and accounted for. And Leo, you would know that basically, like all of your contents are basically on display here. Um, Realize that like it's a very thorough scan. You can attempt to resist it if you want, but you feel like that might be
Nah, it's too
probably
early in this. I'm not gonna do it.
absolutely fine. You are taken to a waiting area, which is very, very fancy and kind of off thing. Like it's not connected to kind of the main course area. So even though these people have kind of a fancier way of it, like flight wise, it's like you're going to a fancier still location. That's where Akitsu will be waiting. And the scene's pretty generic, but how would they find Akitsu waiting?
Calmly in a chair, probably sipping some sort of coffee or tea.
Okay. Um, Drops the individuals off with you. And then another individual, security tech, comes out and hands you a data tablet, Akitsu. See that it has a bunch of schematics, and then in your ear you would hear when I say, um, Akitsu, it's more than likely the case that if we direct flight this shuttle Tycho, this might be by our quarry problem. I have taken the liberty of giving you some ideas and options as to what we can support any such detection methodologies. The final say is, of course, up to you.
I would love to hear these options.
A is a direct flight to the moon, as initially planned, but to the city of Copernicus. Then transportation from Copernicus to Tycho City on surface would be entirely up to you. Option 2 is a flight to the Crystal Palace. Will be costly for the company and probably by the lead of counterintelligence if they problem. However, it provides a safety matter that may not be present in the other two options, in that there will be plausible deniability. You have entertained Crystal Palace a number of times in your history, and already scheduled a rendezvous there for later this year. Uh, it could be seen as just a common occurrence with your current record.
Is it possible to move up my dates?
Impossible, unfortunately, but have Arasaka time slots that we can requisition for ourselves. There are no available openings this early, as the Crystal Palace is a quite popular place, but can pull some strings here. Unfortunately, very expensive, very gilded strings. Option
All right.
3 is that we divert very quickly to Arasaka Orbital Station. The facility is a research facility primarily, but it does house a number of individuals there and has docking facilities that are capable of securing an orbital aircraft. Upon arrival there, the craft will be purposed and sent back to Night City. Will then board an Arasaka shuttlecraft, which will make its way to Tycho, incognito and harder to notice. Best as far as stealth goes. However, it does provide in that individuals that you are traveling with not be aware of the existence of Arasaka orbital facility and may need to again sign further waivers regarding non-disclosure.
Let me pass these options by my comrades. And she will. So she'll explain that, there we have those three choices. We have Copernicus, we have Crystal Palace, or we have the Arasaka satellite. But I don't think she'd say Arasaka's station just like straight out. She would say there's a third option, but it requires an NDA.
Good answer. Good answer.
I would vote for option 3.
Option 3.
Switch turns and looks at her or their crew and looks back at everyone.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have made it this far if we couldn't have kept a secret. And they kind of smirk.
I just want to get the job done and get paid. Point me in the direction, we'll get it done.
Elsie's like, what about the Crystal Palace though? That sounds like it could be a good plan, right? Collar will kind of like smack her in the back of the head. What? We could have some fun. We could have a good route. The moon. It's a fucking moon.
Mifune, could you please forward me the NDA?
Of course. It's on the tablet. Fourth option should be able to bring it up tabwise.
Yep. I'll pass the tablet around so that people can sign their individual NDAs, and we will take the safe route.
Is it explained to us what we are agreeing not to disclose?
Yeah.
After signing, is it explained to us like This is
Yeah,
the hard
we will
limits.
be
Okay, good.
yeah, we will be rerouted to a Arasaka station. The coordinates and existence thereof is not to be disclosed, as per the NDA. And anything you see and hear or witness in general upon such said station is to remain undisclosed, even to other Arasaka personnel.
Spook's getting spooky.
I'm going
Yep.
to actually put out a broadcast call to your hollow, every single one of you. Except, say, hello, I've already spoken to your netrunner. Hello, my name is Air in charge of a kitchen. Mako, I want to make sure that you understand that the facility is known to some, and the facility's coordinates are the primary non-disclosure. Its position is a very safe and purposeful matter due to our rivalry with other large mega corporations, some that you may be familiar with, and some that you may.
I'll sign it.
Okay. Everyone signed. They
Yeah.
will then kind of take you, um, like they'll kind of broadcast that the shuttle is preparing, and as you're making your way through area to monorail system that will take you to your landing, your takeoff station, um, the uh, TVs and kind of klaxons kind of notify that there's some sort of alert currently inside of NCX. Specifically denotes that it's in. Oh my gosh, they're not called? My brain's not working. Hold on. In one of the quadrants, one of the sectors of NCX, there appears to be some sort of outburst with weaponry. It's the third one. It's the fourth one, which is this one here. Um, there isn't much information that's brought forward to you, but your security kind of, or the person who's kind of running the show on site states that it doesn't appear to be an issue for us, and we without problem. Noting this, there's really not much that I think of off the top of my head um, that I can kind of broadcast to you that is on site that would help you with kind of understanding what's going on. But if there's anything that you can think to do on your side that isn't combat gear, want to research what's going on thoroughly, attempt to do so.
I don't
So,
think that's what we're here for.
Okay,
Can
sounds
Kate
like
be
it's not my
aware of
problem.
any
go ahead, Zach.
major import or
No,
export?
No, not that you're aware of. It's definitely just out of the blue. Like there's a gunfight going on in Terminal 4, but again, don't know what it would be about.
Do they have footage on it?
Unfortunately, it's not being broadcast at this time. Seems like it's currently just an alert that's kind of telling you to be wary of Terminal 4.
On guard.
No.
Okay. Well, if it doesn't interfere with our plans, I don't see why we just ignore it for now.
Okay. Make it to a private kind of course, which is on the third level of this sector or this kind of building facility here, um, and it leads where the monorails are loaded. It looks as though entire car is cleared, like there's nobody present. There's still people down in the kind of waiting area, looking like they're prepared to kind of board a flight. The best way to kind of think of this area is it's a staging area for boarding crafts, specifically space vehicles. Um, so if you've ever been on a plane and you've ever kind of waited to get onto a, imagine that, but multiply it by about 10. It's just a lot of people kind of packed into one area around what appears to be a central security base. Um, and out of character too, if you've played the Phantom Liberty, this is the part where the NUSA and Songbird, but we're not having one. You're able to get onto your subway car with relative ease and head off. Along the way, as you're kind of being transported to um, here via the monorail. But before you make it too far out, somewhere around here, I'd like everybody to make a perception check.
Ooh. Perception. Right here.
There are three D. That will hit none of them. Daniel rolled up. Okay. Okay. Squints, you're gonna get all three bits of information, and no, oh, Switch will get, and so will Kincaid's. You'll get one piece of information. So the common bit of knowledge is as you're traveling, there's an explosion that happens out on the runway. Looks like it's a small craft. It appears to be that just explodes, detonates. Um, Looking at the aftermath of it, it looks like fire crews are kind of preparing and moving over in that. Quince, what you see is that the AV appears to the same make and model as the AV that you understand that Einhand have been utilizing. Hercules, or, um, but it looks as though right before it blows up and you kind of catch your eye on it and see it, it looks as though it's been painted up in Militech colors. Um, but know that they don't use this particular AV um, anymore. It's dated, it's old. The Heracles is from like an older time, 2045, time of the Red. Um, but you know that it's heavily used. Throwawayable name, but still function by the terrorist group. So you recognize that, and you also notice that it looks as though this was a diversion. It looks as though the a group of individuals was able to make their way across this facility where planes and the like are kept. The main kind of docking area for utilized rockets, um, for spaceflight vehicles, like small, um, simple lift ships, and then also like planes. And oh gosh, what are the ones that fly not like kind of in the stratosphere, like near space but not quite? I can't remember the names of, but those as well. Looks like that's where this group is.
Point it out to the group and say, looks like someone else is trying to get a ride the hard way. At least the harder way.
Akitsu, being made aware of this, do you notify anybody?
Nope, she left. She had to go take care of that.
Yeah, she's absolutely contacting her superiors, letting them know that it wasn't Militech. Clearly.
Yeah. Um, okay. I'm assuming that she's going to notify security, and that'll be done. Okay. You arrive at the kind of shuttle side or rocket side area, and this is more in kind with what you would expect to see in port. where like the plane is right there. Oh, ooh, uh-oh. Any post at all?
Oh, there it is. We're rebooting. It looks like.
We'll get there.
Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Gotta believe.
Believe it.
Also that.
Nope.
Nice.
Such a tease. No, Lark.
Oh,
Jumping in and out.
That's Switch's job.
right. Literally.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate
noticing.
you recognizing our territory.
No.
We all have our gifts.
Quince can see shit. Kincaid can punch shit and also like scrutinize shit. Leo can blow shit's minds up if it's connected to the internet.
And make Squids uncomfortable.
And make Squids uncomfortable. That is also true.
And apparently other netrunners.
Yeah, also true.
Apparently.
She is here and she is uncomfortable. Okay, so yeah, they'll take the information that Squids you pass over to Arasaka, and they'll kind of push it to their security team so that it can be active. And by the time you kind of make it to that position near the rocket, the waiting area for the rocket is kind of instilled inside of this space. You can't really see it from up above, but it's a very nice little lobby area with glass walls that allow you to kind of see out into the Pacific Ocean, which is what you're sitting on, Morro Bay, more specifically. And you can also see far off in the distance, since with your super perception, you would notice that Arasaka AV and what appear to be Orbital Air AV are headed over to a large warehouse facility on. So it seems like that'll probably be the shuttle warm up is currently in process, and they have extracted the loading bridge. So if you want to stand outside in Pacific winds, winter winds, you're welcome to do so, or you can wait inside in the lobby until we've got everybody plugged in. I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody. It sounds really weird. I don't know.
They held their breath as soon as you said it. It might have been Zach.
Is it me? Where's
It might have
I
been.
couldn't see whose lights were lighting. I wasn't paying.
Everyone was stone silent the moment he brought it up, though.
I noticed it too. But I'm on push to talk, so hopefully it's not me.
I was muted until now, so I'm thinking Zach F or Chody, but
probably was me.
it might have been you.
I
But
had
I will
pushed to
stay
talk,
inside.
but
Okay. Outside?
Is anyone going outside?
Nobody? Okay.
outside to where?
There's like a loading bridge. It goes out to where you can kind of enter, but they won't let you enter. The Arasaka attendant says you're welcome to wait outside since you guys are VIP and they aren't really going to tell you no.
Yeah, I'd take a step out for,
Yeah,
possibly my last breath of Earth air.
it's strangely the freshest air you've gotten like in a long time, despite the fact that there is a massive rocket next to you that's probably already doing like the breathing, initial processing and all of that kind of like cycling through. But the Pacific air, the cold crispness of it, fresh off the water, it's just a very thing. Um, Perhaps a solid memory. I'm gonna say that you waiting out there. Go ahead and roll a d6.
2.
And you can regain that much lost human. You can't regain your
Wow.
max human. Kind of taking a moment to meditate on. All right.
Good
Loser.
air.
Touch grass much?
There you go. Lark says her
Genuine
computer.
question: how many of us have physically touched grass in their lives in this game?
Great question. Kincaid definitely the age. Leo maybe a bit more dicey, like 30 something. So he's not too far behind Kincaid in years. Um, Not a single one of the mocks besides Collar probably. Collar's been outside, so she's touched like harsh grass, like Badlands grass. But it's definitely. Boy doesn't even have.
You might.
Better question is who has seen a cat?
Buddy, not a single one of you.
Remember what's it was fucking lousy with a Fresno.
Oh shit! Yeah,
You're right. We've all seen a
Fresno, it
cat.
was all disgusting with cats.
Fresno is lousy with
Humanity
cats.
adjustment. There's not a ledger to it. I could just
Yeah, just
change
add it.
the number, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm so excited to get to the moon and then start having to roll panic dice
That's when we need animal handling.
when we see a xenomorph.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
Actually, we've been an alien the whole time, you guys. I was just getting you ready. No,
No.
there were vampires in Cyberpunk at one point. Also superpowers. But
What?
they retconned. Uh, Cyberpunk 2.0. I think I posted pictures of it at one point, or like the video or the inserts in the book, instead of having like art drawn or like digital art or whatever, it's just pictures of like GI Joe dressed up in, like they took photography of GI Joe, put that in the book.
It was probably getting a little too close to another IP was the problem.
What's the other IP?
Like Fallout.
Oh, it's probably getting too close to Shadowrun. Shadowrun has magic, like all that, but 3.0 was interesting and weirdest uh, choices I've ever witnessed. But it happened, and we got this instead of Cyberpunk Red, and we lost to that. Sorry, I am riffing. As you may have noticed, I am waiting for Lark to figure out if it's done exploding or not. Bear with.
Okay, so be right back.
Yep,
I'm gonna
apparently.
be taking deep breaths out here in the cold ocean air.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're wearing a heavy coat and you got the hat. Like you got a cigarette, probably.
Maybe, maybe dropping a text to Jarvis to coordinate a salvage
Yes.
operation with Arasaka off the
Goes
south of
outside
their
for last
spaceport.
breath of fresh air, lights a cigarette.
Yeah, not an idiot. I need it.
Anywho, no response back yet. Again,
We went with option 3, where we go to a space station. Is that the idea?
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try and run through it just without Lark. We'll just catch her up when she's back. I guess. Not optimal, but what we're doing. Um, Boarding call for the craft is sounded. You head out onto the boarding ramp across the. Despite its cold and kind of windy atmosphere, it is still sunny, bright, um, early morning. Uh, nice enough. You walk up to capsule, and basically there are docking capsules that are kind of put inside of the launch mechanism proper, and your group as a whole enters. Looks as though there are other capsules that have already been loaded, and these are loaded with like physical materials that would be as it costs quite a lot of money to launch a ship into space, and this is probably the largest expenditure that has happened for a group of edge runners in our cyberpunk Dark Sky saga from the very beginning to current in the millions. Um, assumption is that you are but a small bit of material that are on this um, sad. Um, it's comfortable enough, uh, but it's not a space where you can physically kind of move around. Kind of more batten the patches kind of situation, like you're on a roller coaster almost. Large, kind of padded uh, frames placed upon you as you sit down and explain
I
to you.
wanna.
But,
I just want to eyeball anything that's not bolted down that
or
looks usable.
doesn't appear to be much in the way that's not bolted down that isn't a person. Leo looks very usable. But
Well, he is.
you would note that the craft is loaded personnel, and no other individuals besides you are in south your pod. The
What was
door.
our final head count of 12 people?
Uh, I think it was 12 people. Let's go through it one more time since we're kind of.
If you don't mind, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I know you're also trying to stall for time a little.
Sure, sure. I appreciate the opportunity. So Leo, Twins, Kincaid. There'll be higher Mox crew, which
Oh.
what?
Oh no, I was gonna say the 12th was supposed to be a Danger Girl
Correct.
asset.
Yes. So she's the only one that you don't recognize, but she Akitsu's. Um, but going through it because again stalling. So it'll be Switch, Caller, Elsie, Miranda, Pitch, and then it will be Kitsu. Um,
We have
it's
people with rhyming names on the squad.
did I rhyme?
Switch and pitch.
Oh, I guess so. Kumiko,
Huh.
Mifune. Mifune's not physically. Kumiko, Toshiro, and Danger.
Toshiro is the bodyguard-looking guy.
Toshiro's the bodyguard. Yeah. Um, the Danger Gal representative. I don't have art for yet or image, but it'll probably be a woman in her 20s, 30s who is wearing a cat ears of some kind. Not like cosplay cat ears, more kind of like those headsets that have like cat ears on them, like cyber
Practical carriers.
tactical cat ears. Yeah. Danger Gal has a they have a brand, right? And that very much is it. Um, but
I
she
think
is
it's all the budget.
she is introduced to you as Books.
Books.
Yep.
I also sent you a message if you get a chance, John.
I looked at it and I was replying to it, but again,
Thank you there.
I can also just do it like point blank to you.
Yeah, I mean,
Easier to talk than
the
type.
important one's not here.
Sure, sure, sure. Um, that would be very bad for you, and here's why. You broke an NDA, which means that the information that you gave them would mean that they'd have to source it unless they act on the information. If they act on the information, Arasaka would know who broke the NDA, which means that you would be coming up in court and it would violate the NDA. So what they would do is they would act on it, murder you, and then they say, we couldn't have gotten the information from him, he's dead. But we have the information, so ha ha ha, we're going to get the leg up on you in this instant. And so you'd be dead, but Kang Tao would be winning. So if you're a Letty style kind of like corporation first, hell yeah. Otherwise, probably not the greatest idea.
Okay, that's why I wanted to like figure it out before any of that ever happened.
That is a perfectly reasonable, rational, ra- rational way of thinking. Totally understand. Corporations are very
Rational.
shut up, okay? I'm
No, I
sorry.
love it. I love it so much.
I'm
Kind
having
of
You guys
What
never
kind of
work for a
craft are we
corporation where
looking
they
at?
will kill you
Sure.
just to take the information?
Great question. So
That's every corporation.
I'm gonna see if I can't get an image. It was on the loading screen at the start, but I didn't have it in Foundry. So I'm gonna try and get it on. Trying to remember how I go about that. Again, we're still getting used to the system, so let's go
Yeah.
with boom, bam, and pay.
Take your time.
That I will.
I was curious, is it like a full shuttle, like a rocket ship? Is
It's
it
a rocket
something
ship.
more sci-fi-y?
It's a rocket ship. What would be a way to describe it? Um,
I'd love a picture as well.
that's happening.
Cool. I didn't want to dissuade you from.
This is the image of what it would look like from the where you'd be standing smoking your cigarette, except it would be. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I'm smoking and looking right up there.
Yeah, it's definitely again. It's size-wise, it stands on par with some of the buildings that not in like corporate center, but like definitely a big one, right? It's good 100 or so feet tall, 200 feet, no, just about 100. But yeah, um, once you're inside of your pod, everything's kind of locked down, shut, and there's a clock that's kind of displayed a T minus setup in the understanding that you'd be taking off shortly. We have a notification from Lark. She says her came back on and is at a sudden crawl, and it is not able to load anything at all. She's restarting at current. I thought this was before, but it looks like she was um, force quitting everything.
She should turn off all startup files.
I will send that to her. The IT works. There's a good turn off all start up files. I have no idea how you go about. I
You
Sounds
Google
like
it
at
from your
this point
computer.
it would slow her down more. Try to track
Yeah,
that
don't worry
down.
about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Sorry.
For future, definitely look into that. But like
I
right
don't.
now, she's gonna be googling, and
I didn't finish typing that, so I'm glad I didn't because I would have to have said the IT door
it
shut
felt
down.
like you were really dragging it out on
What you
purpose.
could do is just have her join Discord from her phone
Yeah,
in the
that's
meantime.
possible. I don't know if she has. I mean, don't know. Focusing up though. Rocket
Yeah.
prepares to take off. Um, they kind of tell you to brace, prepare. Um, no external viewing. You can't really watch. They'll fly out in space. But they do state that once. Oh, we looked up these terms and already forgot them. But when you exit the atmosphere, burn has ended. They will be able to open the pods. So they also have camera viewing. Interested in the plays that are stairs sides. So if you want to watch as you fly out um, Night City and go as you lift off, welcome to. The main thing that I need everybody is an endurance roll.
I already had my mouse over it, expecting it.
You're like, I'm either gonna throw up or shit. Um,
Both.
and yeah, with that, I mean, might be both. Definitely an experience. Squints, you're able to kind of keep yourself locked in. Switch, this is hell. This is literal hell. Everything that's possible to kind of like leak, be it a sweat gland to your nose, like it is just absolute like It's
You
like
don't have a hole that's not expelling.
right. Every every orifice in your body is
Oh no.
secreting fluids. This is obviously a gruesome visual, but here we are. Um, and it seems
They
like
gave us suits, right?
no, you are just loaded in your regular clothing. Suits are not required
Cool.
as yet, but you do see a station that looks like it has those. Um,
Can Switch still insist that her clothes will recycle it? And were designed for this?
no, they expect everybody to wear clothing you're okay soiling. It probably was on the brochure, and you don't want to get in a fight with a corporation regarding the small text. Um,
You'd be surprised what Switch is okay soiling.
okay, well, so I thought you were going to go a different direction, but I do appreciate that compliance was present. Thank you. Zoom,
I'm a yes and guy.
absolutely like horrifically violent flight for everybody except for Kitsu, and I'll explain this to Lark later. It was a surprisingly boring flight for her. She's done this kind of thing before. And those of you who are like really like, oh my god, you look over at Kitsu, she's probably asleep. Like she's like catching some actual sleep in this process.
What were we trying to hit?
Huh?
What was the DC we
Oh,
were looking for?
the DV was a meager
DV.
11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's again, it was a pretty calm flight. But like for
Gotcha.
everybody who's not experienced,
Flavor stuff.
weight wise, like it's a very strange weight like discrepancy, right? Because everything's being kind of pushed to the floor. Everything internally is being pushed to the floor. So yeah, you're kind of like, and the pods, yeah, it's just it's a very different angle of gravity. Eventually, that all goes away though, and you would feel kind of strange, like um, person. Don't hit zero gravity in the pods. The pods are regulated to have a functional gravity, less than Earth gravity, but not to such a degree that it's very noticeable. The pod window, as the radio overhead stated, does open and give you a sight of space. Um, voice on the intercom states, "We have made it to suborbit and are making our way into orbit at current. Situation as it is understood is that this flight will be taking a facility where you will be required to, or in space, 0G, um, EV at all times. Please remove any clothing, armor, or gear that you are currently wearing that cannot be placed into a EV form ease, and deposit that into your normal pack. Thank you. Please do this before we arrive at the facility. We have approximately 45 minutes before we rendezvous. And the doors that I mentioned before that look like they had the suits in them will pop open. Um, have 45 minutes to get into them. Want to do, but I will say that at this point, your armor jacks will all be removed.
Not my body weight suit, right?
Your body weight suit can be worn with
Take that,
skin tight,
sirs.
but armor jacks cannot be worn inside of the. However, the EV suit does provide you with a great benefit in that it is armored, heavily so. And as far as statistics and EV suit functions, and everyone has to wear one, period, circumstance, acts as a suit of flak armor. Do not have anything
Okay.
that mitigates dex or reflex negation. You're suffering. You will not be able to move around as easily as you normally. And
Uh,
if you don't already have such a suit on, I will put one. Stop it, cat! I will put one on you.
Sorry.
Um, I'll put one on you now.
If I have flak, do you want me to just throw
Just
that
throw
onto
the
the
flak
character?
onto the character. That'll work.
Gotcha.
Squints, I assume you don't have flak armor, right?
No, sir.
My cat is being very cute, very difficult. You now have flak armor. Squints, it's in your gear. Please put it on. Theo, same, right?
Yep.
Same for you. Theo.
And you said remove the light armor jack and light for body and head?
Yeah. And Switch, you have armor. Oh, for the spacesuit. And all right. Okay. The other thing to note too is if you have anything that's on your person that would be that would require it to pop up. So any pop-up weaponry, it cannot be utilized while you're in this uniform. Additionally, um, can probably hold one weapon on your person, um, and a single pistol, can be placed in the actuating holster on the. Otherwise, the weapon probably don't have it. I will listen to any requests or cases for weapons that you would like to be on your person.
To clarify, you said a weapon and a pistol, or
yeah, so the pistol.
a pistol at best.
There's a holster on the suit for a pistol, and the size of the holster actually modifies like actuators to like connect to the weapon. And then it's like RoboCop's thing, you know, RoboCop leg, but in a space uniform.
All right, I'm gonna throw this
Okay.
out to the group. Should I bring a regular rifle or a sniper rifle?
I don't know that we're gonna have a big old firefight. I think we're gonna, I don't
Yeah.
know what's
How
gonna
long are the
happen.
hallways in space?
I mean, if
You
it's
know?
close enough, I don't need a rifle. Is the thing, right?
Yeah, I guess
Well,
you could.
you want
Can
it,
you
not.
like? Is there a 360 no scope option in Cyberpunk?
Yeah, it's called rolling
There's
a 10
even
and
more
then rolling a
degrees
10
in
again.
space.
Alright, well, you got this.
Also, should my stats be affected by changing to flak armor?
um, probably have a penalty reducer on your.
Yeah, but the penalty from heavy to flak is an additional 2, and I didn't see it change.
So your armor penalty on flak should be because you have a reducer.
Correct.
So it should be modified in current now, but no, it won't. It won't actually reduce. Like, go ahead and roll a what's a
Roll a skill.
yeah, just roll a skill that has that
Has
reflex.
reflex.
Yeah.
I'm writing.
So if you click the math on it, you'll see that it has the total mods -2. Like if you
Okay, cool. I expected them to show up just raw on the sheet, but that's fine.
because technically your stat doesn't reduce, so reflex 8 prerequisites are it's just a penalty.
Sure.
You still dodge bullets if you're wearing heavy armor. It's just harder for you.
Fair. Okay. Stun gun.
Okay.
Was it
And everything.
reflex, movement, and dexterity? Is that
Yep.
right? I'm
And
making a effect real quick.
you don't have to make an effect for it.
Mine had no effect on
It's
my
on
flak.
there. It's on there.
Did you
Roll
equip
something.
it?
It'll.
Because you have to like go into the gear thing and click the little like
Right.
fucking
And also,
Oh,
Is
it's
it? Yeah.
on.
Is
It's
it
equipped.
equipped?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, what,
Then it will do it when
Roll
you
a
try to
skill.
move. Like it'll show you 2 less. It won't change your move down on the sheet
yeah,
because your move is
Oh, okay.
technically the same,
yeah,
but like the armor will apply if you try to run because you have the armor
yeah.
on.
You know how it shows like the green and the
It
orange
doesn't
or the red?
actually bring your move down. It
Those
just
are
Oh,
affects when you
I see.
try
When I
to move.
Yeah, when I actually
Right?
click on Dex, it says total mods -4.
right
See, yes, yes.
because you're wearing the
Okay,
armor.
okay. You know what?
Crazy.
I'm gonna bring the sniper rifle.
Okay.
Nice, dude.
And can I bring my knife? Is that fine?
So you'd have to make a case for it. Are you bringing a pistol of any kind or no?
No, no pistol.
Then you can put the knife there.
Okay.
I make a case for an exotic concealable weapon to be hidden in the flak armor?
So the way that the armor works is that you're side of the eco suit, so
Mhm.
you can't really hide anything on the surface of it very well, except for in that holster. So you won't be able to hide a weapon on your person, but you can hide it inside the suit. The problem with that
Yes.
is it'll be
Won't be able to access it during combat, but I will have another gun on me if both of my guns break.
yes, that's absolutely fine. And also,
Thank
like,
Wait, no, it's done
if
yet.
you put it close up, like, because you're connecting a helmet to the top, right? If you aren't wearing the helmet, because you aren't ordered to wear the helmet at all times, then it actually comes, like, down and away on its own, kind of snaps back. But if you carry something close to the neck, something very small, you can kind of reach that area and pull it. Could cause complications if it hits you.
Right.
I got an unsheathed knife stashed in my helmet.
Why'd you punch
That's
me in
the
the
coolest shit I ever heard.
neck? So, Brad. Okay, great. So if you are kind of paying attention to the view, well, not quite like this yet. Oh, there's a. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. It's not quite like this yet, but we're getting. Earth is very far away, the farthest you've ever been. Um, off in the distance from the window, to see a space station. You're still technically in orbit, not super far away. But the world is a big place. So two orbitals that this station may seem quite big to you on perspective, but as far as space station that high riders, you not that. Let's say size wise, it's probably the circumference of Corpo Center, right? Like it's pretty decent structure, but space sense, not so bad. Uh, Clark, welcome back. Let me know.
Yep. Thank you. Yes,
Are
sir.
your computer exploding? Um,
Yeah, I don't know what it just doesn't like Foundry.
I guess so. The simple understanding of what happened is you've been on flights like this before, and you fell asleep very early on. So everything I described wasn't super important. If you want to watch it back, I just described a.
I probably took it. I probably took an Ambien. Honestly, I was just
Yeah,
like, oh.
like I'm taking a flight. But you are issued a spacesuit. I will be stating it's very simple for you to don it. It's a flak body and flak head that's been added to your. Just feel free to equip that. So wearing it, if you were wearing any type of armor, but I think you were subdermal before, um,
Mm.
you're not wearing armor, so then you're fine. Yeah,
You said you already added it.
there should be a flak
Uh,
body and flak head in your. Just
okay.
equip those. It will give you penalties to your movement and such. I don't think a Kitsu is specially trained for zero G, so that means uh, differentiate.
No, no.
fires. She'll be as derpy as everybody else moving around in these spacesuits. And as you can see before you, Arasaka Orbital Space Station before you, where shuttlecraft is heading in direction. After changing and kind of getting situated, um, there's really not much time left on shuttle, but you will dock with the space station. Upon boarding, um, a single individual will come out to. I remember the name. Um, individual's name, uh, Professor Sachiko Kusama, is
Mhm.
the head of uh, research and development at this site. She's wearing a very plain and simple kind of white uniform when she with you. This was after you kind of moved into space station proper. The reason why you're wearing the spacesuit as you're entering is when the ship docks. You can see on the map there, kind of like midline, there are docking bays present there, and your pod is being deployed from the vehicle and flying out to that of its own volition. So similar to that thing that's kind of floating off in space here, but a small, little tiny craft that is effectively being dragged or through space by simple thruster systems, and then when it gets close enough, it'll be held out to grabbed a hold of and pulled in space station. The rest of the shuttle in question heading off on its own, loading this station. But Sachiko Kusama, um, on entry, and she states very formally, "Welcome, Miss Akitaneko. Individuals have been made of questions. One or individual representative here,
By all means.
Leo Noon.
She'll step aside.
Like perk up.
You are currently unaffiliated formally with the Corporation of Cows.
Yes, that's correct.
Your network um, history and body of work has been made known to me. NDAs were signed. Is my question to interested in a permanent line of work after ever? We have need of individuals with a sharp scalpel like mine who are willing to work against what many would see as morally dubious, morally gray. So ask if you are interested on your return flight. Please stop by here again to ensure presence on the space station.
Well, you definitely have my attention. I'd like to hear more about this, if possible.
Well, I know most people from area of background are mostly interested in payment, and I believe starting yearly salary for an individual itself would be ballpark of 400, 500,000.
Would this be an accompanied tour or unaccompanied?
Oh wait, what?
Like, would I have to be by myself or could I bring someone to live with me?
If you have a significant other, a they call it put, or a actual member of your family, governmental sense, I'm sure allotments could be that individual.
I'm pretty good at
Wonderful.
fixing stuff too. I'm pretty sharp.
He looks over at you, and by the way, when she's talking, I don't have a picture of her like super readily available. I just one is not the aspect ratio. I was hoping it would be, because normally the characters are kind of locked in size. But I'm gonna post it in the Discord anyway. The picture that they have. So when she looks at you, it's literally just like a weird scan line of like a
Jordy
weird
LaForge.
Jordy LaFleur, like a visor that she's wearing. She just kind of directs her face at you, and her face's like emotional state doesn't change. Locked in. That's it. Um, and then she looks back at Leo. It should not be any. Of course, housing would be paid out of your salary with deduction. The housing being presented by the corporation. Most people willing sacrifice. Amenity.
Yeah, definitely look forward to speaking to you upon my return.
Nod. And then she'll kind of take you on a tour of the station that you're kind of allowed to visit in period as they prepare the shuttle for lunar transport. Um, and there are kind of like shops and such that are present here. Nothing crazy, but like you can kind of grab a meal, kind of get a bit situated. The gravity feels strange. Like it feels like everything's kind of tugging at you rather than you're kind of standing, right? Like when you are standing on the world that we live on, it very much feels like you're centered. There's like a solid something underneath. But as you're kind of walking around in these heavy booted uniforms, it feels like the uniforms are doing a lot of work to kind of stabilize you because it always feels like you're being not so much like the gravity's pulling you to the ground, but something else, something different is always kind of weighing against you. Gravity feels like you're being thrown rather than um, standing on the ground. The reason why that's the case is because if you look at the orbital ring there, the reason why the space station is that way is you're not actually walking on the bottom of the ring, top of the ring. You're walking on the outside of the ring. The ring is spinning in a way that allows for gravity, or a sense of gravity, centrifugal force,
Mhm.
being thrown
Makes
from the
sense.
center of the ring to the outside of the ring.
You're in a centrifuge.
Yeah, you're effectively in the dryer. But yeah, some food, and get ready for your connecting flight. A little layover in Arasaka Orbital Station. Does anybody have anything that they want to interject here, or is it just kind of like, fuck, this flight needs to be over with, let's move? Kind of. I've also been there on flights, but I just want to give the opportunity for storytelling out there.
Where did the rest of our equipment go?
So
Do
it's
we
in
have
your
carryalls? We're on. It's on our person.
it's on your person,
Cool.
and nobody
That's
securely
it.
scans it. Like the only time it was scanned was when you were getting on, or when you were getting
Yeah, they
into
wouldn't.
the X.
I'll just spend my free time just kind of like looking at the people, just seeing like the actual like permanent party, just how they actually look, like if they're happy that they're here.
Oh yeah, no. So like
They're like,
in the mall area, or the like the food court area that you go to or kind of directed to, it definitely feels like a vibe, right? Like you, I don't know if you've ever.
Relatively peaceful compared to Night City for sure.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. It doesn't feel like there's anything crazy going on, but it definitely feels like a lot of people are kind of in. Some people are kind of dressed up like she is. Some people are in uniforms like you. There are security individuals who look like they're on breaks. There are security individuals who are kind of present and around, but they look like they're pretty lax. Um, the best way to describe it to someone who isn't like if you've never been to Japan, right? And you've never been into like one of their little malls, in that country, like I'm trying to think of a place stateside that's similar, and I just can't. Like
You just can't.
it just feels like everybody is in. If you have autism like me, it feels like everything is in its place where it
It's
should
like a
be.
beehive.
It's very strange for me to describe to somebody who hasn't been there. Have you ever seen the show? Oh, God, this is gonna be a this what's it called? Hold on, hold on, hold on.
I mean, as long as it's genuine and not like forced or like they're pretending.
Give me a human perception check. you aren't sure. You feel like you would need to kind of ingratiate yourself into the society for a while to like get a true vibe of it. But on the surface read, it could go either way. You're not sure if it's like a bunch of people who are like, you know, putting up face to kind of like engage with everybody else, or whether or not it's genuine. Are you familiar with the Disney Channel movie Non Girl of the 21st Century?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
That is the fucking vibe.
Oh, everybody's having a good time, but nobody's in each other's way. It's respectful, but also fun.
Yes, it is Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. Google that and watch that at some point later. First of all, I'm sorry.
Wow, I haven't thought about that in
Also,
decades.
second of
Yeah, it's
all,
26 years old.
Cetus Lapidus, and then we'll continue. Those who know, know.
Anyway,
Um,
uh,
anybody else have anything they want to engage on, like the mall court or anything? Are we moving to the next flight? Absolutely
I
fine.
guess just out of like morbid curiosity, what's the security look like on this station?
Great question. So the security on site, they appear to have kind of like a little bit heavier uniforms than Sachiko appears to in that picture. It doesn't look like there's much in the way of armor jacks, but what you'll notice is that they do appear to have like a skin weave, so kind of subdermal armor type stuff. They are utilizing what appears to be a modified version of the Arasaka Masamune, which is their assault rifle. Um, this, I don't think you have ranks in weapons tech, right?
I do not.
Okay. So yeah, you'd be familiar with like the standard Arasaka rifle, but these look like they're different and have this very strange like power cell kind of.
I've seen enough of them in like
Yeah.
drugs or gun smuggling busts but I just don't know. I can't put my finger on how it's different.
Most common, yeah, exactly. Most it looks like it almost looks like a futuristic version of them. Is the best way to say it. Like it looks like a
Sure.
space version of a already
They got
futuristic.
sci-fi guns up here.
Yeah. Uh, which is really meta. Never mind. My brain
Yeah, I
is.
know.
You're great.
Don't worry, I got it.
So funny. Um, but yeah, they look like they're competent individuals. They look like they're um, probably individuals who got this job as a bit of like a cushy kind of position. So they kind of look like they're older individuals, probably your age or just like a little bit younger. And again, it looks like they mostly probably got these positions because of diligence company.
The assumption is everybody here is an Arasaka
Employee.
employee or otherwise an Arasaka. Uh,
Contact Connect or like
yeah,
asset. Correct.
asset's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
100%. It definitely feels like this place, from what you're allowed to see, very um, uh, like they put a mall in space. Is what you're being allowed to see. That's basically it. Um, but you do get the vibe from what you were able to kind of see without permission on the sides and air, is that this facility seems to do a lot in cybernetics, but it also seems to do a lot of neurological studies as well. Um, I think that it's probably safe to assume, um, Leo, that based on the job offer, they're probably doing stuff that has to do with rogue AI connections, also kind of like neurological, not too dissimilar from what, right, but like obviously in a less sinister but still probably sinister way. Um,
Okay.
have you played the game? No. Okay.
None of the expansions.
Oh, did you beat the game with the Hanako ending? You choose Arasaka
Mm,
as your team.
no, I chose what's his face,
Of course,
the bodyguard.
of course.
Yeah,
Oh wait, you chose Takamura,
yeah.
so you went to space.
Did you go to space in the normal ending? I don't remember that.
Well, there's like a couple of different endings, but there's the ending where you choose like Arasaka as like one you kind of side with, and I think that's the one that Takamura kind of wants you to go with. Anyway, don't worry about it. I'll give you more details on that later. Cool. Done with space, or this portion of space. Make your ways back to docking areas where they have prepared the direct flighting you from here. Made known to you that this direct flight will be somewhere in the ballpark of 60 hours direct from here. Fastest recorded lunar flight, our current modernity is around 60 hours. Um, so about the same. Um, and for that, they do suggest getting sleep, as most of the flight um, can be kind of dull. They really just are blunt with it, flying through space. Um, if you have any damage at all, you're muted, Zach. Sorry.
It's not like the last flight, right?
No. A lot easier to deal with. And actually, they do have they don't have gravity kind of activated through it, so there will be kind of zero gravity.
Do they have a laundromat
Yeah,
that Switch could use or
yeah. There is a
showers?
laundry device in the shuttle. Um,
Oh wow.
the best way to think of the shuttle is kind of more like it's first class plus. It's almost like you're being put into a penthouse suite that has rockets and a pilot.
Like having the nice cabin on a cruise.
Yes, 100%.
But we're only going across like the English
Yeah,
Channel.
we all totally know what that's like too.
Lark, I've
I've
always
never even been on a cruise, but like
Okay,
I
good.
know what it's like.
I have been on a
Like I know
cruise.
what
I
those
I
cabins are.
watched The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on Disney.
Jesus Christ, what's with all these
You
Disney
misspoke
references?
our names.
I've pretended to book cruises. That's how I know. One day.
So you're able to kind of clean yourselves up, and during the flight, like I said, it's kind of dull. It's not much to it. The viewing ports will show you the cold, dead black of space, but eventually there will be a point where you can see the moon by the pilot. That is the case. You're on this flight for 3 days. Get very comfortable with each other, a lot more comfortable than you have been. It isn't tight quarters, mind you, but you are in the same. Effectively, you're living in an apartment with 12 roommates or 11 roommates. This is the space that you live in. I have the NPC. You want to engage with them. You have each other to engage with one another. There's the new NPC of books, the added team member to Kitsu's team. If you want to engage in any bit of roleplay before we land on the moon,
Unless it's business related, Kitsu is not looking to engage.
That's okay. I was kind of looking for a little team huddle exclusionary to Akitsu anyway. Uh, and if I have to go like one by one with the others, but basically we don't know what we're gonna get into. We don't know what kind of state this guy's in. If he's been operating as he has, I don't know if he's been doing this directly. He could be a fucking vegetable for all we know. Or he's sharp as a tack, ready for anything, could be on the run. No matter what happens, no matter what we've talked about, this all dies with him. Any evidence of any kind of manufacture, any notes to further this kind of stuff, burn it, destroy it, whatever it takes.
From everything I've seen of him so far, I would not expect him to be complacent up here.
I just don't know what to expect. But if he's able to control folks, I don't know what. I feel like Kincaid would know, but I don't. What's the different distance from the moon to Earth surface?
Great question.
If he's able to control people that far, I imagine he's got a few handful of puppets.
With no
And
lag.
Tycho.
238,900 miles.
I don't think he'd be that precise, but 200,000 miles.
He's not fucking Data.
Yeah, no, it's boring. and he feels like he's not allowed to smoke out here, so he's not, and he's fucking reeling in it.
You are.
He's assuming he can.
Okay.
It's bad for the instruments.
Give me a perception check. Give me a perception check. This is funny.
Are other people smoking?
No, just give me a perception check.
Keeps closing my thing. A 9, terrible.
Okay, never mind. I was seeing if you could spot the ashtrays or not.
The asteroids?
During
Ashtrays?
ashtrays.
Ashtrays, sorry.
You know where you put the cigarette dirt in?
Yeah. I was ready for
You
space
put
words.
the cigarette dirty.
The cigarette dirt. Cigarette dirt in there.
During the trip, sometime if I see Kamiko, that's her name, right? The Netrunner.
Yeah.
Away from Akitsu, I want to approach her.
Always near her.
She never goes to the bathroom.
It almost. Oh.
We go together.
God, you're creepy.
Thank you, Lark.
They poop together.
Yeah. Girls go in
Women always go to
squads.
the bathroom together.
Yeah.
For this exact reason right here, a man
Yeah,
is
no
trying
shit.
to enter
You're
that
why they
bathroom
choose
after
the bear.
one of them alone. Like, this is why they go to the bathroom.
Even in
pairs.
space, you fucking monster.
Jesus Christ, can't they get a break?
You're the reason
Unbelievable.
it's all men.
Not even in a space fantasy.
Holy shit. Why can't I be more like Xenon?
I'm definitely arresting you next.
I just wanted to ask her an actual question.
Well, you're not going to be able to do
Dude, in
so.
front of me.
Without the exec around, but it's fine.
I love how we put him on blast. And I'm now genuinely curious what he wants to ask her. She's not going to be on her own.
You'll never know, so.
She definitely does seem to kind of squat up with her boss. And I think they probably sleep in the same room. So.
Yep.
Hero probably sleeps relatively close, but not much. Doesn't sleep.
Well, fine. During the time, I'll use any free time to just antagonize her. Whether it's just looking at her, getting uncomfortably close to her. The usual brother-sister type shit.
Oh. This relationship is weird. This is good though, fun. Okay. Anybody else have anything that they want to do?
Mr. Leo, please stop antagonizing my staff.
Whatever do you mean, man?
You know what I mean. I'm not into playing these juvenile games, and neither is Kamiko.
I forgot your human perception is insane, so I won't even happening.
I mean, I just don't care if she notices.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she has like a +14.
It must be nice having empathy. I don't know what that's like.
It's probably one of the only times where I'm just role playing my character.
I've got 5 empathy. That's not bad.
Actually
That's more than double mine.
You should have stepped out for a breather with me. It was very nice.
Oh no, my humanity's maxed.
That's really sad.
Wow.
It's really sad. You should talk to somebody.
Wouldn't help.
Nope.
No.
Therapy doesn't help him right now. He's got too much Borgware. Literally put in crazy shit. Unless he had a chance.
Oh.
Why the Arasaka job sounds really enticing.
Mm-hmm.
What? We get to Fuck with people? Yeah, I'm in. Okay. Anything else? Moonside. Tycho. Um, the draft descends, and this is the rough draft of. So just bear with me. It's not bad, but it's not the best. We'll get there. I think size-wise, it's pretty close. In real life, um, Tycho crater, which is what this map is of, is around, and this is not 100%, but from
16
diameter wise,
meters.
it's about 16 meters. It's just some random hole, like high fidelity camera. No, no, it's about
16 meters or 16 kilometers?
no, no, no. When I pulled it across, I haven't changed the actual size of it, so it says six.
Yeah.
It's 53
Right.
miles
Height.
wide.
What is this? A crater for ants?
It's 53 miles wide, and you'll be landing in Tycho West, is on the left side of them. There are two spaceports: Tycho West, Tycho North. Um, Orbital Air primarily controls Tycho North. ESA, which is the European Space Agency, runs the western side. However, Arasaka has agreement with ESA for them to place, due in part to business facilities of the city of Tycho being a mixture of Arasaka and the tech efforts better the presence on the moon, which is
I
good.
just want to confirm the place that we're trying to get to is that building, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And you have the exact address. You know exactly where you're going. Shouldn't be an issue. Upon landing, the rocket touches down into position on landing bay. I think they're supposed to have like a ramp system, but again, like I said, this is map one, but uh, it'll be very similar to this, if not exactly identical, but with slight shifts and additions. That being said, upon landing, you go through the normal process of kind of moving through. Uh, it's almost airport-like structuring, and the monorail systems that you are boarded onto, taking you, yes, a subset of Tycho North, the opposite of Tycho North. So you'll be moving pretty good distance across.
Okay.
Um, Looking at the informational brochures, understandings that you have of the location, have an understanding that the city of Tycho, the following: two orbital bases, two orbital spaceports, which are Tycho North, Tycho West, hydroponic gardens slash uh, vineyards and the like. There's an ice mine. Game of Space Colonization has the legendary footprint of Buzz Aldrin and a DSS Pathfinder memorial. There are restaurants and shops all throughout, especially in the business section, and there are spas and pools located here. You also know, especially if you are business oriented, that the business district, kind of large black circle, kind of ground, and there's actually more of Tycho City that is subterranean visible. Living quarters are these mega building like structures that are all throughout the area. Some of them not even having shadow, having shadow. Uh, Again, rough draft. Had to get it to print a lot faster than hoping, um, or had to finish it overtime this week. But yeah, this is structure as it stands. Now, if you want to research anything as you're making your way through a rail car to say offices, to kind of go through customs and the like, you're welcome to do so. But the customs efforts will probably be commandeered by Arasaka, and you'll kind of fast track through without issue. Um, but is there anything you want to research, check for, see, get information on while you're planet or moon side, or kind
Security is run by Militech, you said, right?
in the orbital air locations, it's run by Militech. In the ESA locations, it's actually run by Arasaka. So if it has this kind of E logo, oh, you don't see those. You'll be able to go to or on the left journal notes and on toggle notes display, and it'll drop the notes on.
Do we know like where Atomi's like living in that building?
No, it's not doing. Okay, hold on a second.
He said we do have an address.
Yeah, but I mean like where it is. Like, is it a central unit? Is it an outer unit? Like anything like that?
It does appear that based on the number system, it is lower tier. But as you actually do some research, you learn that that would be subterranean.
So underground.
So yeah, the buildings actually go into as well as being prominently above them. Looking
And now
at
is it
Okay.
centrally located or is it at the building perimeter? Do we know?
that you would not know without being on site, being
Okay.
able to pull up the schematics from data term. One of three locations. Those aren't showing up yet. Let me. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Uh,
I did
It
learn that
was.
you can fire a weapon in outer space, so
yes.
or outside we can still shoot.
Mhm.
I
Does
knew.
they have to have like self-contained oxygen in the
Yeah, like
Oh,
casing or
my
whatever?
Google search said that they do actually have
they have an
oxidizers in
Aldi's
there.
in space?
So, quick note too on that. So, in Cyberpunk, there are cased ammunition weapons, but the casings are kind of can't remember what they called it, but yeah, they are able to be fired in space. Tech weapons are the most easy to fire in space. Tech weapons are rail weapons, so they just actually use those and charge the rail. But there won't be any penalties. We're going. We're I don't want to make a Moonraker situation. I kind of want to just have like a good fashion, you know, romp of us.
Moonshot.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
just saying the Google box says that you can actually fire a weapon in outer space because they're self-contained and they have
I
oxidizers in
like
it
to
when you
think
fire them.
Leo looked it up on his agent as we're on the fire.
We can shoot guns all we want, you guys.
Ah,
Uh,
As I hold my sniper rifle.
yeah. Again, a tech weapon. We have the easy time of it anyway. Are you starting to see things pop up or no?
let me try
Yes.
I
toggle again.
see all foods,
Yes.
the what is it?
Militech
Yeah.
logo, all foods, and was it
Sorry,
Is that
the
Biotechnica logo
Biotechnica?
with the
Yeah.
for the
Biotechnica's
hydroponic?
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta have
Um,
a moon lab for your drugs. You do.
um, if you want to, since we're kind of like getting acclimated on the moon or on the monorail over, or once you make it to the ESA facility, the offices, um, can go ahead and just kind of have a situation where asking questions about the environment around you, and we're kind of factoring in that I don't have the handouts right now, but based on what you're asking, that'll kind of keep for next session. So I know what you are interested in, and I can kind of focus that as my primary task. Um,
Fair.
we're all getting used to the moon. I have there is technically information I can use as canon, but it's very limited. There is also information that's not canon, but was presented by CD Projekt Red when they were creating the video Cyberpunk 2077. There was apparently a cut bit of content that would have had going to the moon and doing stuff on the moon, which again, a lot of what we're going to be doing is going to be kind of based on. So just a heads up on that. I'm a hack fraud. Um, then there is also kind of what is mentioned in about the moon Cyberpunk and Cyberpunk Edge Runner. So like a lot of it's kind of coagulating into what we're going to be doing. But I do want to kind of get an idea of what your questions are upon seeing basic functional map of space, so we can kind of get an idea of what you're thinking of. Obviously, the apartment facility. Is there anything about the apartment facilities you want to know more about? I did state that they are subterranean and above ground. They probably have a good 10 to 15 stories above ground, not terribly high, but they are as wide as mega buildings. And your presumption is that they are as long as mega buildings, except that they go down and in proper.
The anticipation is our quarry is in a subterranean layer, most likely,
Correct. And they would also know that,
according to the address.
yeah, the building that we have would be this building specifically here, which I don't have
Yes,
marked, but I'll add a journal note to it.
it's fine.
Are all buildings connected by something where you don't need like a suit,
Yes.
like a tunnel, like a tube, something?
Yes,
Is
but
there any way to
there are some.
figure out the entrances and exits?
Sure. Real quick on Daniel's question, there are chokes, so there are situations where they're not like interconnected. It's like a web, so sometimes you'll have to move through certain spaces to get to certain spaces, and that is something that you would have mapped to you. You can kind of see etchings of it if you zoom in really close, as the old kind of connector map I left in the background. I will be highlighting that more in the final draft, which we'll have next time. I'm going to call this God's apartment as the note, and I'm going to go ahead and create a map note there. There is now a map note that is on apartment building. Don't lose it. Double check everything marked. Yep, everything that I have a marking for is marked. Okay. Um,
God's Apartment would be a great song for fucking Impure Cobra.
yeah. Too bad they're not up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Biotechnica does have presence here. They are the people who maintain the or greenhouse rather, and gardens and hydroponic gardens. And they also have a Biotechnica moon farm, which when you were flying over and landing looks almost identical, but just very much smaller to the farms out on the south side of Night City. It literally is just a bunch of greenhouses, the white kind of static look, just kind of built out and about. The only difference is like they have kind of like a more hardened plastic shell than the is back home.
How do people that live in these apartments generally get their food? Is it just from the this market that's underground?
Yeah, so they can purchase it there, but what you will note, and according to ESA, anybody who is a resident or a visitor on Moonside will be provided with standard food ration. Everybody is expected to eat well on the moon, and the expectation that anyone could be left to starve on the moon is an expectation that should not be allowed. Per all corporations, this pooling of funding is presented as kind of a beneficial thing for society as a whole. So you can pick up a single course of food um, day, and you'll basically be given tickets, which will allow you to get food at any of the locations present. Vending machines are present in apartments. So too are hot food locations inside of the apartments. Again, these are very much just like mega buildings, except that they are subterranean and in space, slash on the moon. Um, but yeah, would assume from what it's stated here, like everywhere has food, like in night.
So, all right. So my question is there a way to figure out, like if food is delivered to his apartment regularly or anything like
Ooh,
that?
great question. So I understand the question more so now. It is highly unlikely that be able to track the delivery systems that way, but it is a possibility that that is happening. Um, if you were wanting to track if the food was being delivered, you have to first find out who is delivering it, and then either go to the deliverer and find out how it is being. But very hard for you to kind of track if that's the case from like an outside perspective. You have to be
So
jacked
we could
into
just
the right
poison
place.
it.
Yeah, you could just poison his food.
You mentioned the backup would be fulfilled by Militech if I wanted to go that route.
Yes.
Okay, that's more what I was asking is who acts as police
Sorry. So yeah, security-wise,
or as security.
your connect will be Militech. Militech does have the
Militech runs these buildings.
yeah. Militech has the hierarchy of security as it stands, but there are other security firms. Right. But yeah, absolutely. So you would coordinate with at the ESA offices. You'd kind of get in contact with uh, Militech on site and just let them know of your presence, or would you like just let them know of your presence, or let them know of your
I would let them know of NCPD activity and request a meet
of course, we can set up a meet.
because yeah, go ahead
Of
if you
course,
want to go into a role play of it.
yeah, of course we could set up a meet. Absolutely not a problem. Currently, the officer on site at the facilities I presume you'd be checking out would notes. Hold on. Eric Warder. He first captain at the business promenade. Um, got him.
Eric Warder at the Promenade.
Yep, and it's Eric with a K.
Of course it is.
He'll set up a meet with for again time regulates on a 24-hour clock system. You would arrive at if you're checking against your agent or your phone or hollow clock, it's probably somewhere in the ballpark of like 12 Night City side, like 12 p.m. Night City side. Um, but it seems to track time off of getting super complicated for no reason.
That's fine. In the messaging back and forth, I would insist like due to corporate law and risk of infringement, I cannot discuss uh, how or why exactly I'm here,
Of course,
but that it is a of all corporates' interests as well as NCPD.
Militech is more than interested in cooperating with Night City Police.
Always a pleasure.
So it'd be probably within 3 hours of your kind of getting out of ESA that your President Eric Warder would first captain. Okay. Squids, Leo, Twitch. Again, you're on site. You're entering into a new place. That's a lot with everything kind of going on. Try and engage. Try to.
Probably not. I don't think he would. He's more of a street kid. He wouldn't be up to this high class stuff and the stuff that's all bolted down and everything. It just seems too clean for him. I don't think he'd be able to do anything right now.
You wouldn't want to go to the Museum of the Moon. Squins, the tech guy, would be interested in like visiting the
The
moon landing,
museum.
The Museum.
I
Yeah.
I mean I think he would be like a kid where he's
getting a
like, that's
selfie
important.
with Neil Armstrong's footprint.
Well, okay, so let's pause for a second because obviously, like, you do raise a good point. there's definitely a lot of ways we can kind of role play this. I want to make sure that people like I understand this is very much a high concept situation for ourselves, but I want you to enjoy it. Please. That yes. So once you arrived here, like you're either going to kind of like turtle shell and become very kind of like not squintsish and become like I don't like this place. I don't like being here. This is very difficult for me to operate in, and I just feel awe and kind of like okay, I guess I'll go with you, Kincaid, or oh, I guess I'll go with you, and like kind of connect to somebody in that way, or maybe he does kind of just kind of go, the only way I'm going to get out of my shell here is just by going and doing touristy shit.
I mean, I think he would want to do like the weightlessness stuff that he could do the moonwalk and stuff. But I mean, like the actual like things that will help the party move the story forward. I
Okay.
don't think he would
No, no, no.
know.
You don't have to do that.
You don't.
You're here on the fucking moon for 2 hours on no, like without monitoring, without any supervision.
Everybody goes
Go have a
different
fucking
directions,
blast.
and you're like, "What's this moon tours thing?" And you look it up, and you go, "Oh, okay." And then you go over, and you're like, "Huh, yeah." And you sign up for it, and they aren't free, but you're on a
I
corporate
got one.
license. You're on a corporate license, or you can pay on your own if you want to. Yeah, your credit or your euros work just fine up here. It looks like the
Do they do
but
do they do wine taste tests at the vineyard?
yeah,
We
the
should do that.
the
It'd be a bonding
the
experience.
moon tour thing though, you literally go out. They drive you out in a van.
A
Well,
rover.
first they take you on a monorail out to like a small base that's off on its own, a good distance away. Then they put you in a rover and drove you out, and then they just let you just walk around and do whatever. That's literally all it is. You'd think in your mind like that sounds like the dumbest thing ever, but in my mind I'm like that is fucking rad. So it's five
I mean,
thousand.
he'd want to do the weightless stuff and walk, and I mean, he'd want to do that. That's the only thing I think that he'd be like, "Oh, cool, let's try this at least."
Five
I mean,
thousand
Jody,
eddies
that's
for
fun,
that.
and it opens you up to a plot development.
If
That's
you're
gonna happen on the surface without question.
if you are paying on your own, it's 5,000 eddies. But if you just put it to your flight ticket, it will go against Arasaka corporate. That's up to
Yeah, then
that's up to a Kitsu whether or not she wants to kind of reprimand people for utilizing
he
that.
would try.
Oh yeah, no, it works, but
Wait, reprimand people for what?
I think 5,000 eddies worth of corporate monies because they're connected to the flight that they were brought in on to go on a move.
It's pretty much a billet to my room.
Yeah, it's a billet to my room effect. It's billet to my flight is how it works up here.
Keep your ass out the mini bars.
No, I can always try to reallocate corporate funds to the right places.
Sure.
Uh, later, like
So
retrospectively.
you get on a fucking subway car. It feels just like a subway car, like an N cart. Like you're like, but it's clean. The monorail goes off and starts heading off in this direction. There's about 20 other people inside of this thing with you. There's a family of four. They look like a just a very all-American, typical family. The guy's got like the chiseled jaw. The wife's, got the blonde hair, blue eyes. Very very stereotypical folk.
Like
There's a
1950s.
there's like a good like half of the 20 other people on the thing appear to be a single family from Mexico City. It looks as though it's like not like a single family like you've got like aunts, uncles. There's a grandma. They're all kind of present there, and they're all in their spacesuits, and they're all like very much communicating back and forth how they're very excited to kind of like do this. Um,
Which one's the birthday one?
um, so what if you listen in and kind of pay attention? What you understand is the grandmother. She has been diagnosed with a form of cancer, a blood cancer, and she has like a year left to live. And this is very much brought out in jokes about it by the family. They seem to be very kind of like lively about joking about it. And when they heard about that, they wanted to do everything they could to make it like right for her. It also learn that there is one person amongst the family, uh, a woman who is the sister of like the main bulk of the children, like side of the family, and she is an all foods exec, and she appears to be the one that's fronting the bill on this venture. They are very much tourists. Then there are a couple of people that are closer to the back that are very quiet and kind of off to themselves. Um, they are easily kind of tellable as like exec types, um, and you kind of get the vibe that they might be Arasaka just due to the plans that they have. Um, but yeah, the subway car is kind of filled with these individuals. Like it seems like you're kind of more people watching than engaging with anybody, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, get two tours, and this very loud, handsome kind of tour guide guy says, "Hello, welcome to the moon, everybody. You ready to go walk out on that surface? We're gonna have a really fun time here under the sun and the light of the earth." I know that's a weird term for some of you, especially if you're all from Night City. You're from Night City, aren't you? Points at not you, somebody near you, one of the Arasaka looking types, and very quick like nod dashes to like respond. Like, well, great. Nothing like that here. Just do me a favor. Keep it that way. Don't throw any of your litter or anything to that effect out there. While you're out there wandering around, you might get a little peckish. And if that's the case, he kind of hands forward a strange looking capsule. Just attach this to your EVA suit, and it should be able to dispense delicious, delicious food right into your suit. Okay, everybody, are you ready? And they start loading you up onto the rider the rover. I can't use R words. Um, and eventually you're out on the moon with all of these people who are having a great time. Um, you'll I don't know. How do you feel?
Small
Yeah,
and kind of lost.
you're looking up at Earth from the moon. Like it's a day where you're kind of Taiko City is like directly underneath the moon. It's it's high moon. Um, the Earth is right there. Look at it, and you can see the lights, dark side of it, kind of out. Not sure if you're looking at United States, or if you're looking at or in Europe. Everything just looks bright and uniform, dark at the same time. Okay, somber moment done. Switch. What are you doing while you wait?
Oh, to be honest, I feel like the crew and Switch would try to go shopping to like accessorize their suits to try to fit in a little bit more and also find some stuff to bring home.
Yeah. So suits are only required when you are traveling in spaceflight. So you can actually remove your suits when you are in the facilities, moving about. It's
Got it.
recommended that you keep your spacesuits whenever you're traveling via non-subterranean tunnel or non-subterranean vehicle, like monorails, etc. Due in part to propensity for uh, meteorites striking those things, and emergency situations. But if you kind of go into the market, main business district, which has markets as well, it is a very sane, stark difference from what you are kind of used to in Watson. This has a very strange vibe that's similar to like a Charter Hill mall area or like a corporate center downtown kind of mall structure. But it seems like everything kind of clean. Like Night City, even in those kind of regimented districts, still has your elements of poverty that it's very hard for you to kind of life itself. But here it seems that they've managed to do it and sterilize it to the point where you don't see uh, suffering that's Quince is having an existential crisis. So, um, here in the malls, though, shit is dope. If you would like to purchase clothing and like try to fit in, go ahead and give me a wardrobe and style roll.
But what is moon fashion?
Xenon.
Uh,
I'm gonna see
I
if I
mean,
can.
I'll do it anyway because I want to look appropriate for the place I'm in. So where's style and wardrobe? Right here. Wardrobe and style.
This is what this is
Oh,
what I
just
think.
like Murdoch's here.
This
Jeez.
is this is what I think
Oh,
Look at
Quince is
that.
Quince is gonna look like this by the end of this. I think
I'm going to
that
look
is a
very
still image.
stylish. I'm gonna look like a native.
There's no goggles.
Sorry, I'll doodle those on later. Okay. What'd you get on the wardrobe? Sorry, I was. Oh shit.
29.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, Switch, you are in the market area, and Akitsu, if you are going to purchase clothing to kind of wear while you're here, the two of you would see each other, kind of like a crossfield. If you'd like to interact with one another, welcome to. If you'd like to ignore each other and say "fuck off," that's also fine.
I mean, I'm not gonna be that brash about it, but she wouldn't engage unless he wanted to.
Oh yeah, Switch would definitely. So, are you the shopper that kind of puts things on in a dressing room, or the kind of shopper that grabs things off the rack because you know your exact size?
It depends on the brand, really. If I'm unfamiliar with the brand, I'll need the dressing room. If I know the brand, I'm more likely to just take it off the rack. Or, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I will just go through the catalog and have it delivered.
Okay. Follow-up question: how familiar are you with Moon brands?
I do have some of the same brands that you would see on the surface, but there are brands that are new to me as well.
So let's start with the new because that's more fun.
Uh, Is this your. You don't think that you're going to be trying on clothes with me, do you?
I mean, only if you'll let me.
I will not.
Oh, sometimes a person can dream. But can we pick them out together?
I'd happy to be. I would be happy to lend my expertise in fashion.
Then lead the way. And Switch offers their hand to be led away.
She will ignore that hand. She will lead the
Doesn't
way.
doesn't even phase Switch. Playing the long game. I got plenty of time.
When you kind of fall back, like when you're dejected by her, Elsie will kind of like walk up alongside you. God, she's. Bitch will kind of like rub their
Accurate.
hair, kind of looking at Stone Cold, but
I
as,
don't mind watching her walk away.
yeah, yeah. As she saunters like
Except
away.
except fucking Toshiro probably
Yeah.
gets right behind
Oh no, Toshiro's leading.
her.
Toshiro's leading, and but I mean, he's got a dump truck too, so fuck it.
His dumpy be
That's a
a lot
lot
more
of
luxurious.
dumpster. But yeah, you as a group are able to kind of find some really awesome outfits for the for everybody. Um, Elsie like had a mind to come out here and purchase some things, so she is very interested in doing so. Miranda's missing. Again, this is the case, but you are pretty sure that you'll be able to find her, or she'll be able to find you. Caller is just kind of here and is actually warming up to Toshiro, who are talking. and like as you're purchasing things, like they have become the people who carry shit group, right?
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and obviously you two are doing quite well for. As far as purchases go, I'm going to state that there's a minimum buy-in for your purchases here, and that would be high fashion. High fashion's minimum buy-in. I'm going to say it's about 5,000 eddies. Um, if you wish to spend more than that, you're welcome to do so, and the number of outfits will basically allotted at a point. But you'll be able to purchase several outfits if you more than that. A couple outfits if you just spend.
I'm sorry. Great.
Does
Speaking to me. What was the amount for if we
Five
buy outfits?
thousand's minimum buy-in, so you have to spend at least 5,000 if you're shopping and getting any. Otherwise,
Yeah,
the other
absolutely.
person might judge you for different reasons. Naturally, Elsie does spend a lot, but would note that she gets the minimum, like she's getting like a couple outfits, but she now officially broke. No money or name whatsoever. But she
I'll
definitely
spend a good 15,000.
okay. And what about you, Switch?
uh is you did you say Pitch was with us?
Yeah.
Do does he get anything or
So doesn't really get much of anything, just some accessories. And it doesn't seem like he's wanting something and not able to get it. That doesn't appear to be the case. It just
Mhm.
appears that like not really into fashion. Like there's not a lot of pinks on the side. Like at least not any
Sure.
soft pinks. There's like vibrant,
Plenty white.
bright pinks and just uh, like you can
All
actually
too
see.
all a bit too neon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a bit more of a pastel, not a fuck that is pink. um, kind of situation. Okay.
Okay. What about collar?
Caller didn't buy shit. Caller is carrying stuff.
Cool. Um,
I'm buying some stuff for
I'm
Kumiko as well.
okay. I'm gonna put 6,000 towards it so I can get one thing for collar
Okay.
as well.
You'll also note that with your both of your high rolls, there's an interesting instance where you're kind of mall shopping and you've got the normal stores, right? Like uh, stylishly, fucking got a spot, like all these different fashion brands. But there's this small kind of like um, it almost seems like it's not a name brand. It's like um, an individual who's kind of set up their own establishment and is selling fashions therein. And you're actually surprised to see Bitch V13 merch like outfits for sale here. So if you're not familiar with Bitch V13, the fashion brand that the Mox actually
Mm-hmm.
put forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
You know, I think Akitsu will buy a complete outfit from there, and then the rest she'll spend in Jinguji.
Oh my god, are you actually buying a Mox outfit? That's
I'm gonna buy a Mox
oh my
outfit.
god, oh my
I
god.
I spoke with
You gonna do new art,
Amelia.
John? Did you gonna do new art? Is that why you're saying, "Oh my god"?
I didn't say that, but I might as well. That's
She
awesome.
enjoyed her business encounter with
If I'm gonna
Amelia.
twist your arm like that,
There we go. Switchable token, so
Oh my gosh,
the kids it
you're on
could be
crack.
mocked up right
oh, it'll
now.
be great depending
Just
on the
put a
fucking
Kitsu on
mission.
Switch's body. Save yourself a lot of time.
just just put the head, move the head over, right?
Right, right.
Oh no, I'm sure I could do it with somebody else. I'm sure I've got options, but she's so pale. It's um.
Switch is
Well,
blue.
someone wearing gloves and
Yeah.
full body suit.
Switch is blue.
I don't know.
Switch is
Full
blue.
body
Look
suit
at him.
doesn't really
He's
scream Mox
blue.
to me.
They are indeed. Switch. Akitsu, you have a great romp. very much kind of splashing. It sounds like there's a bit of a camaraderie there. If you're buying like Mox clothing and like also that, like it seems like there's like a good rapport between you. Is that fair to say?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Then Leo would note that Quince kind of goes off on a moon tour. Seems like Kincaid has got business at a later hour. Um, it's that the girlies are girling. What does Leo do?
I think I would actually go to the museum.
Okay. So the museum on Tycho, Museum of Space Colonization, it has a section at the very kind of forefront of the space. And I will note that this is something that, again, I am stupid in my desire for details to be correct, but I do know that Tim's footprint, or Buzz Aldrin's footprint, I think they did land in this crater. Don't know for sure if that's 100% accurate, but I'm going to see if I can pinpoint Buzz Aldrin's actual, like, first step footprint on the moon in this space. And if I have to move the museum, I will move the museum to make it work this way. This is the museum here. And very much at the foyer, there is a glass floor, and there are people kind of standing around. Some of them are taking pictures with their cell phones or cameras, and there is a very prominent display in the center that has kind of
The footprint was not in Tycho Crater. It was at the landing site in Tranquility Base.
okay. Then they would have moved it. Why would that be listed as something that you'd see in Tycho? So they must have unearthed it and moved it, I guess.
Either that or they took a casting of it and
Okay.
recreated it.
Interesting. According to Guide to Your Weekend in Tycho. Hold on a second.
Hmm? I mean, I asked Google.
Absolutely. Um, Popular day trips include the Tranquility Base, where the Apollo 11 landed. Buzz Aldrin's legendary footprint can still be small but fascinating. Museum of Space Colonization in Tycho. Okay, so they did move.
Okay.
Tranquility Base is. Oh god, that is fucking bright.
Tranquility Base might just be a rover drive out of the crater.
Yeah, but it states specifically that, according to the information in Cyberpunk 2077, the footprint is in Tycho. I don't. Again, they're so annoying with the lack of
Well,
detail.
they said it was a guided tour to the
No,
footprint, I thought,
no.
is what you had insinuated. But I guess if they move the full footprint,
Yeah, so let me read it again.
that's
Hold on a second here.
sad.
Tycho Crater is approximately 1,200 miles from Tranquility Base.
No,
That's what I was trying to find out.
they said it's a day
That's
trip.
not a day trip.
Uh, Yeah,
A day trip. Okay.
it feels like I'm paying more
Lunar
attention.
day.
the, the moon doesn't.
Yeah,
Is combat cyberware authorized here?
Combat
the moon does. Yeah.
cyberware has been reactivated. So let me read it again. Popular day trips
Like the
include
footprint?
the Tranquility Base, where the Apollo 11 landed in 69 with the first man on the moon. Buzz Aldrin's legendary footprint can still be viewed in the small but fascinating Museum of Space Colonization in Tycho. The Museum of Space Colonization in the city of Tycho. And so too is the footprint.
I'm gonna erase it.
So the footprint, the footprint?
They had to have moved it.
Yes.
Oh,
So that you do
yikes.
all of this for nothing. It's gone.
How are you going to erase the footprint?
Probably
It's
in
a
a glass
Cyber
fucking
case
wizardry.
by now.
footprint.
You're like,
You can just kick it like a
hack it.
child
No,
on
no.
a fucking schoolyard.
So they have it inside. Okay, so this is. I'm going to make it up as I go along, and I'm going to stick to it later, even if the details fuck up. So they've taken the entire plot of where the landing happened, and they've removed the rover or the lander, right? And they've taken up the ground, and they've just transported that here and set it in the floor in the lobby. So there's a glass panel over top of it, and you can look at the footprints, right? And the legendary one is highlighted as the centerpiece, and a lot of people are taking pictures of it because there's other footprints, right? Like they walked around, the one step and then off again.
Mhm. It's the first
Seems so
footprint.
backwards.
Well, ahead.
No. So I mean, like as I'm going through the museum, I just want to also be looking around to make sure everything seems the same as it is in Night City, as far as neuroports and access points like that.
100%. The one difference will be that the security on all of these is higher. So the presumption is if we're hacking into that architecture that is not on a person, interface rolls for it will be increased by the D by 3. Security here is tighter.
Okay.
On people, it's going to be much the same, but as we get into, you understand my mentality on it. If you're fighting a certain type of person, they typically have their own kind of, the whole group will kind of have those. We'll see what they are for whatever we end up fighting.
Oh, I was supposed to get a quick hack, right?
What was the quick hack? Oh, the quick. No,
Something.
yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. The one that messes with the dolls. Haven't made.
It can be next time.
Yeah, haven't fought anything. That on my list of corrupt doll. Okay. Um, anything else, Leo, that you want
Uh,
to do besides the museum and me trying to explain the weird writing on it?
yeah. Can I send messages back to Night City or no?
You can, but they are going. Okay, so let's quickly discuss. As I understand net structure, is a strange one, but not a totally opaque one. Kind of a bit too. So this is according to 2025, the Earth Moon system when it comes to connections um, through net architectures and direct connect community. So the moon, also known as Luna, is basically twofold. There are 2 points on it that have their own net, and they will connect to L2, L5, L3, and L4, which are high rider colonies that orbit the planet but are not technically in orbit of the planet Earth. Those connections are independent on their own, but there are connections between them and L1, which is the Crystal Palace. It has its own net architecture, own kind of established, segmented away from it. But you are able to kind of communicate through these channels to superior nets, and then as a net runner, the wider the length and communication goes, the more opportunities there are for it being identified and looked at. So if it's information, you would know that if it's information you're okay with transmitting, that's fine. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I just want to send a message to Asta.
okay.
Just send a message. Hey, hypothetically, if I got a chance to take a job outside of Night City, how interested would you be to join me?
Okay. Also, um, since you are doing this in your primary hollow, you would note that the net architecture you are on will do that thing that like iPhones will do, where it says like sent from an iPhone, but instead will be say it'll say sent from Luna. If you would like it not to do that, you can make an interface roll. The DC is 6, and you can make it not do
Yeah, I'll make it not do that.
that. Okay, let's that roll. Okay, so it's the question that she's fielded, and she'll say,
Gotta keep her guessing.
"What's the pay like?" Mention
Extremely well.
something you want or something about doing. Hangtown.
Uh, Potentially with someone else, but it's something I never even thought to dream
I'd like to talk to you about it in person. Where are you?
about. I can't discuss that yet. At least until I finish this gig.
Right. I don't like all these secrets. Or you haven't finished the job, so we.
Sounds good, babe. I miss you.
And then she starts sending you sexy text.
Yay!
But I'm not gonna do it. Um,
You have to send them in DMs.
but I'll send you them in DM. Yep. So,
Really committed to the role play.
hey, I'm a storyteller. That was
Hey,
story.
props really help.
Yeah, smut books exist. Those have
It,
stories.
this isn't exactly like Asta, but
Thank God
and
for that sweater.
it's just me right here like this. It's just like this. I was like, oh, you like this? You like that? Use your imagination.
You like that?
Fill in the
Oh,
blanks.
see, I was picturing more like AOL chat room where
Oh.
it's just text and you go back and
ASL.
forth. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say ASL.
Oh, such a classic. Like kids don't even know what that means anymore. Probably. Ugh.
I had to explain it to
They
somebody
don't. They
recently.
don't need to know, and I'm kind of glad they don't.
Isn't
It
it
was
like?
a bit problematic.
Isn't that just
The
American
dark
Sign
times.
Language?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Last but certainly not least, Kincaid. Before you get to with Eric Warder, is there anything that you'd like to do before you head?
Kincaid's gonna keep his helmet on. Just he knows he's a recognizable person in this person's eyes, and he's per usual a little paranoid that, within reason, paranoid that he's got eyes and ears about. So I guess sort of I don't know, just wandering around in a full EVA suit.
Yeah, there's nothing that you're specifically engaging in, kind of facing the time.
Nope, just sort of walking with the crowds of people from building sector to building sector.
Yeah, people watching, you would note that it feels very much like Night City. The main differences are is like it doesn't feel like it atmospherically. There's a lot of kind of interiors. They typically don't allow like bounding, and there's nets above you that would stop you from it. But I want to make sure you understand the gravity is not altered. It is very
Right,
much
right.
just the way it is. Um, and for some of you, if you're not walking in eco suit, like you're walking around, it's more of kind of like a very casual stride, and it's fun, like comparatively. But the person who's having the most fun with that would obviously be twins out there on the moon.
I guess
Wait, no, sorry,
internally,
existential crisis. Sorry, go ahead.
internally, Kincaid's a little like anxious because this is one of the more dangerous jobs in recent memory he's been on. Yet he does not have the sense of danger of walking down the street of Night City. He's in a model society, pretty much.
It is new trash. Yeah, the danger is not
And
coming.
it's annoying.
It's not coming from an alleyway. It's not coming from some cyber psycho off the roof. It's not coming
It's coming
from
from room 12, fourth floor.
right. It's
Never been so close and so far away.
yes. Um, so um, after a long time of kind of like people watching, checking the areas that you're kind of allowed grace in, and then kind of moving into the area where the meet was set up, um, come to a location that was designated. Um, It is what appears to be like a police department like station, very similar to like small waylay stations that are kind of all throughout Night City, where maybe a dozen or so officers of the law would be basically on site, kind of move response to something that happens side. So seeing this, it's kind of like something you didn't really notice before, but now kind of like see and understand what it is, and it's the most familiar thing you've seen so far. You enter into the offices of the space, and you are taken back to a simple room where a gentleman also wearing an Eva suit. Um, his helmet is off, however, in first position. He's hello, Kincaid, right? I'm Eric Porter. Comes forward with the sturdy hand.
I'll shake it back. First Captain, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure. All the way up here,
Quick
probably.
scan of the room. Are there cameras? Are there?
Um, no cameras. Basically, the office has been set up in a very simple fashion. You've got the desk, and then you've got two shelves flanking the desk, one on the left, one on the right. Behind the desk, there is a port window that you can kind of see um, out the back of. It seems that it's looking kind of right at one of the mega building apartments. Um, then on the desk, there's like a bunch of just random like bits and bobbles stuff that you would use throughout the day. Tablet here, a couple of data chips there. On the shelves, there are trophies. They appear to be mostly for accuracy, like marksman's trophies. Um, but then there are a couple for investigatory practices, kindliness and security measures, etc. Upon looking at Eric Werder, he's got like a grizzled kind of hard-boiled look to him, but he definitely looks like he's older, probably somewhere in his 70s, right? And remember, we're in Cyberpunk town, so 70s is like the new 50s.
70's the new 40.
Yeah, so he looks older, but like Cyberpunk older. And
Gotcha.
after shaking your hand, he'll kind of sit down, and he's got a pretty firm handshake too. Make sure that that's clear as well. I assumed you
Sure.
figured that, but sits down and he says, "So, what brings you all the way up here? Some sort of matter? I know you can't get into specifics of who and why, but what can I help you with?"
That's the frustrating part of it. I'm not sure how much I can share with you. Kincaid will throw off the helmet, quickly reach into his carry-all and throw on his hat as he sits down. Uh, Due to the corporate nature, as I'm sure you're familiar with by now, of the individual I've been following here, I can't give too much information. I
Okay.
am aware of his ties to Arasaka, but I can't guarantee he is without ties to, let's say, other corporate entities on the surface.
Yeah, understood. Um, Several corporations have presence here in Tycho.
The individual in question is wanted for cybercrimes influencing major parties in Night City, as well as distribution of harmful, uh, what's the word?
I don't know.
Contraband. Jesus.
Contraband. Okay.
His links to distribution as well as manufacture are currently unknown to me. If any of it exists moonside, I was curious if there was any spikes in bandwidth of information travel between Earth and Luna
Unfortunately, we
that
don't
you
get
may have been made aware of.
much into net up here, due in part to the ESA's mandates. High writers are very particular about what allowed a regulate. Netwatch does try to work with them on occasion, but from my understanding, uh, high writers like keeping the net up here as close to the way that the old net was for data crash, and it works for them, and uh, are allowed to transport our information their net system at their pleasure. So don't ask
Can't
questions,
argue with that.
the flow going. Um, Fortunately, we wouldn't be able to detect anything that way. If you had a netrunner on site, they could try and coordinate with the SA and see if there's any way that they can kind of get a sneak behind the scenes on that. But that's a pretty tall order. Typically, they keep that stuff close to the. Now, on site, if you have a location that you're interested in kind of focusing on, that information coming from, um, definitely do more spot killed, like coordinated look at that and get information as to what's coming out of those local nets in that area. coming from a residence, one of the factories or laboratories, or hell, maybe even one of the offices as part of the spaceports. Definitely take a gander at that. But I'd need to know where you'd want me to start looking.
The individual is known to have a private residence in building 3. I can't recall what the
Yeah,
code was.
building 3, and lights on the.
I'm afraid if I divulge much more, it may smoke them out of their hole too early.
Oh, of course, yeah. Again, I'm just telling you, if you feel it's possible for you to ask those questions of me, uh, kind of focus that detail, I can kind of get it a little bit differently. If you don't feel comfortable giving that information out, that's fine. I know that we have a agreement, um, Militech and United City Police Department due in part to actions city of late being looked at as favorable citizens. We appreciate it. Um, I have been instructed to allow for you to function as a liaison for the corporation. Um, Official titles or anything. However, he
Of course.
places a disposable cell phone on the table. If you utilize this number here, um, contact the only contact in the phone, it will directly in contact with our security department on side to be able to get a security team up to as soon as possible. Now, depends on where you're at as to what that's going to be. I think most residences will have like a small squad of 4 that'll be able to ASAP. If you're out and about on the surface, might be a little bit more difficult, but we might be able to get one dedicated operator. If you're in the business side or any of the factories, probably going to be specialists that'll come and will have a little bit more understanding as to how to deal with corporate entanglement.
Well, we're just getting our operation started here, so I don't want to lead you on too much about where it might be going down. But I'll sure to be in contact with you. Is there any protocol, anything you wish for me to be aware of?
Well, other than utilizing that phone, if you have any questions regarding the net, as I mentioned, we don't really have much of a kind of access to it unless it's dedicated local nets. If you have a specific location, feel free to contact me, and I'll tell you whether or not I can get you data or information, kind of understanding as to what's going in, what's going out. Um, who are kind of more broadly asking questions about net, that's going to be ESA you're going to want to talk to. And then each of the corporations will obviously have their own privacy place. So, move through slalom course there and that to kind of handle those questions.
Understood.
Um, More than happy to help you here, Mr. Kincaid. Just want to be sure to said building 3.
As I understand it, yes.
What I understand, the sub levels are flooded with radiation.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was about 3, 4 years ago. There was a situation that Militech and Arasaka had a joint agreement regarding the ice mines directly beneath the main business district. About a 7 mile hole straight down underneath that established base. There's some places that are technically below the surface that are utilized by corporations or accessible by the public. But well below that, there's a ice mine. There are tours that go down to some of the locations, but on the western side of Tycho Crater, there appears to be a flood of radiation, specifically affecting Building 3. You're sure it's in like the lower locations they're in?
I'm afraid I'm not sure of anything, but that is the lead I have.
Okay, well, if you are planning on going in there, and again, I'm not saying you can't. You pretty much have our full access that we would have granted, but might want to get a hold of some radiation detection equipment. Perhaps we could supply those. Might take a little gathering, but get those.
That may be a priority then.
Yeah. See, the situation was old corporation that used to run on Moon here. Electronics. Sorry, it's been a long time. Hold on a second. My cat's doing a thing where it's smashing my fucking mouse while I'm trying to.
Hmm.
Why are you a baby cat? Can't move my.
It's a good cat right there.
I can't move my mouse. International Electric Corporation. IEC. They
What are they doing on the moon?
well they military industrial contracting with Militech brought them space. The CEO of this corporation back in the 20s, I believe, Gerard Kessler, firmly believed that electricity, electric elements could be found in space location. IS um, purchased outright by OA, I believe. Uh, yeah, they were designing propulsion units and electronics for orbital air before they got completely bought out.
Would you be able to provide personnel records for those who may have lived in that area, in that sector during this flooding of radiation?
I think they got bought out. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That there aren't many people like in the sub levels. I know that everybody who kind of still resides there is closer to the surface than like deep, deep. So I mean, if it's somebody up there, that's probably the case. But yeah, I can get you that.
And forgive my ignorance, sublevels, do they connect anywhere else? Or are outlets strictly on the surface?
No, there's folks that live up above. Yeah, is that what you asking?
My
Sorry.
no, 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 you're fine. It was a weird way to phrase it. My question is, are there outlets to exit the buildings
Oh,
subterranean?
yeah, there should be tunnels down there, but
Are there tunnels between the buildings as well as
yeah,
the tubes up top?
yeah,
Gotcha.
but I believe most of those are closed out. Like I was saying, like ice mines,
Due to the radiation.
ice mines were cordoned off. There were connections to the ice mines to the apartments because people who used to live in the apartments would have dedicated travel directly to where they were working. And then business unit kind of on top of the ice mines, so no necessary there other than up and down. I think there were some connections to the main central location, but beyond that, I don't think there was much. So definitely the westernmost facilities, residential facilities, and the main industrial area or main corporate area, and the central location. So just real quick tabulation here. It's these residences are probably connected, and then they're connected to the main business, kind of the hub, and then they are also connected to the center. And gallery isn't referential to like it's referential to like being able to see optically. gallery is kind of like the higher position up on the central kind of high outcropping in the center of Tycho, and it's also kind of connected to the ice wall.
Okay. And how did the contamination occur from the ice mines to building 3 in particular?
It was so long ago. Let me see if I can't bring up some information. Hold on. Kind of starts grabbing his tablet, going through some stuff.
No pressure.
Oh,
A morbid curiosity of mine.
no, it's all right. Okay, so from what I understand here, back in 2010, um, there was the process to connect the ice mines to residents. That was established. Then in 2015, the IEC was focused on a connective tissue and focusing more on external space endeavors, specifically here on the moon. Um, and they also made a space station known as, which I don't think exists anymore. Doesn't sound familiar. Then 2023, in the fourth corporate war, they didn't get bought out by OA. They just disappeared. But according to my notes here, they were still in operation until 2030. Kind of looks at you. So they closed down the facilities that were connected to the ice mine, and there were apparently reactors down there for radiation, or sorry, fashion power system. A lot of nuclear power up here. According to this, in 2045, they melted down, but they were stopped, purified, cleaned, and in 2074, that's when radiation started to bleed out from those residents. 2044 or 2074. Sorry, numbers are hard.
May I assume the residences were evacuated at this time?
Yeah, most folks were relocated. There was already another residence structure being built up near the Militech mass driver. Um, had designs on this for a while, and upgrading an already existing space that wasn't subterranean. And upon establishing this new location, workers were given an opportunity sent off site, and one of the high writers or days locations, colonies, space colonies, or Militech offered them a contract to retain their work here, but under Militech that they were working for time, not a corporation. Ice mines are important here, not just because they are a tourist um, trap, but also because they provide very, very, very necessary water personnel side.
Thank you, First Captain. This has been very informative.
Of course.
If you manage it, I would love for you to prioritize sourcing radiation suits if we do deem it necessary to go subterranean.
Tap,
Uh,
tap his tablet real quick. Done.
I hate to be a bother, but I may need as many as a dozen.
Does it? Reaches back over the tablet and
Yeah. Uh, and if it's possible, a manifest of personnel that was evacuated, as well as residence records for Building 3.
oh, you got it. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I believe at the time the residences were holding mainly miners in the sub levels. I think somewhere around floor 4 up, there were corporate officers that were present. Conapps were currently being controlled by Arasaka. I think that we had a huge problem with them. Um, Honestly, I'm not much on the corporate side. I just mainly do the policing. Like I remember there being a huge kerfuffle about the radiation hit, and Arasaka not liking that their people had to be uh, located. So there was that. Floor 4 up to about 12. Um, and then all the levels above that up to 40 were fine. The 10 levels above ground, they were mainly kind of high leveling. They liked the view.
I suppose I can't argue with that. Takes some getting used to, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, what is it? How long have you been on Tycho? Or on the moon, even?
All in all, I'd say about 6 hours. So,
So you're really hitting the ground running. And you don't even know how to run yet. It's weird moving your legs on this side of, or on this side of
feel like I fell asleep on a boat.
the.
Well, I won't eat up any more of your time. I'll be in contact for sure if any developments hit.
Stands up very formally, offers his hand again. Well, yeah, absolutely. You know
I,
where to find me. And that phone number will get you in contact with our security people on site, and clicks his details over to you. Call me direct if you need.
please do the same if anything should happen. Thank you, Captain.
I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but if anything happens with Apartment 3, definitely be aware of it.
I'll ask.
What time do we got?
10 till.
Okay, so just to quantify, we've got our kind of main ideas. So what I'm going to kind of make sure that you are aware of for next session, um, things that are on the docket. Um, Very simple point of order is floor 4 was the level that hold on, and from what you will was there during the flooding, according to the listing of people. Um, an individual named Hans Ayatomi was living in that apartment and left when everybody was evacuated. Apparently, was relocated to a different apartment. This apartment building. He have his other address located that as well. So he now has two places he could be. However, remember your source back on Earth told you that Hans Ayatomi's signal was coming from this apartment. Not he is definitely there. They may have said he is definitely there, but they had no way to know that. Just they knew where his signal was.
He could be using that as like a relay base that he controls from the other place.
Yeah, it could be some sort. It could a relay. It could be all sorts of different things. He could be down there, and maybe the radiation is serving as a protection, as some way of not being affected by it. There's a lot of options. Radiation suit will probably be available to you at the beginning of next session. We'll be able to explore apartment 3 if you so desire. Um, and I think the other places that are operationally like understood as being points of interest for you um, are that primarily. It's apartment 3 and then apartment 5 is the one on the furthest thing. So it kind of goes clockwise, but obviously it starts at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 5 as far as apartment. There are other
Gotcha.
residential structures that are present, but the apartments are the residential blocks. The best way to think of Tycho is like it's a mega city or a mega building times 5, but like spread out a little bit. Um, it's all just everybody compacted and tightly working together to make. Any other locations that you think will be a point of interest for you, investigatory wise, that I should make sure I have notes and stuff on before next session?
What is the ice mine?
So the ice mines are a source of water, liquid water that is on the moon.
Okay, that's what I was assuming, but I wouldn't want to be. I didn't want to count on it
Sure,
that
sure.
it was physically ice.
Due to the nature of gravity here, though, ice does not uh, crystallize in the exact same way that it does on Earth. There is very much less particulates in ice, so the ice has an almost prism-like quality to it. So the reason why it is a tourist trap, because there are sections of the ice mines that have been kind of cordoned off by a company that works in ice mines to allow for tourists to come in and see pretty diamond of ice.
Gotcha.
The company that, and this is something that's been pissing me off, but I'm going to have it by next session. But the company that gets the water here, same company that gets the real water in Night City. I just don't know what company that is because there's no company markers on any of those ads, making me so mad. So I'm going to either make a determination as to who I think it should be, or I'm going to find out what the fuck the name of that company is. But yeah, it is not owned by Militech, but Militech is built right on top. They might do the tourist shit and run security on that, but the mines themselves are owned by water companies. Great question.
Neat.
Any other questions or any other sites of interest? I think might be somewhere you go to kind of fans, or have I feel like I understandably have kind of bottlenecked you into apartment, right? Like that seems the place where you want to start the event.
Well, it could very well be like a last ditch trap. So maybe we do want to split up or something like that, and things are wacky.
Or at
Yes,
least
I feel like it'd be silly not to get radiation poisoning on the moon. It'd go in there guns a blazing.
perhaps we should at least have somebody watching the new residents, the one we just had, like
Apartment
if we
five.
can tap into security, yeah, in apartment 5. If we could tap into any kind of security footage or anything, so that we could be notified if there's movement from that apartment when we go into building 3
Want to send us
and start looking around.
a team to it? I would say investigation wise, it sounds like your prime investigators are going to be like Squints and or sorry, Squints and Kincaid. If you're going for kind of like a net investigation and kind of like checking to see if this is a place where potentially hazardous, it sounds like having Leo, maybe Leo with like a squad of physical defenders while he's kind of connected netwise. So maybe the mock squad go that route. So if you were to split up, like it might be good to do like Kincaid, Quince, Ikitsu going down into the radiation, um, or having Ikitsu go with Yo, Mox. They go in Department 3. Or again, mix and match. Throwing out suggestions. But we have plenty of time to think about that. I think session wise, we have an understanding that Apartment 3 is probably going to be somewhere that we're looking next session. And I'll mention it again. I did at the beginning of the session, but I want to make sure it's clear. Map as it stands right there is pretty accurate. I have not finalized the map. This is a rough draft, but I don't think anything is going to move so drastically that you won't be kind of familiar with where it's at. Sizes might be off because again, it's 53 miles wide, and I haven't done the exact measurements on it. I just put this out to publish or put this on the stream so that we had a physical representation of approximately. But I should get that done before next week. Hopefully, my work doesn't run me ragged. Um, okay. Any? Oh, well, we already did the last questions, right? Does anybody have any questions?
I think
No.
we're all set.
I have a question for after.
Okay. Thanks for watching, those that did. We'll see you not next week. I think we're off next week, right?
I'm good next week.
Oh,
I
you're good
think
next
I
week.
was the hang
Oh,
up, and
yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. The weekend after that, I think, is a problem for me. So we'll
you
see.
have a thing the weekend after that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
next weekend we should be fine.
Next weekend, we'll see you then. Ciao.